Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a reading on the energies for the entirety of 2024. And by that, I mean I'm going to be doing them by month. And I'm going to start out with the theme for the year ahead. And now here we have the vow and octopus for the theme of the year. Now, the vow here speaks to the way you've been living, what vow you've been living by, whether consciously or subconsciously. And, making the decision to either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. And, there's a bit of a focus on this because you've been underestimating the power of your promises. Because no matter how casually, reciting the vow activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. Like the ancestors bearing witness and the laws of nature respond. There is a particular emphasis, on words, on the things you say, right? Even the things you think. That's why, your thoughts, your mindset, they're particularly important because, a lot of people would think like, if you think something, as long as you don't say something out loud, it doesn't really count or it doesn't matter. But really, it all matters. I would say, what you're thinking would matter even more so. Because that, I would say, is kind of the more genuine aspect of whatever the subject is, right? But, there's also here with the octopus, there's a need to set healthy boundaries in order to create healthy relationships. And that could have to do with, setting boundaries with yourself. Maybe you need to eat better. Maybe you need to exercise more, get up and be more active. It really could honestly be anything, just creating an overall healthier relationship with self as well as healthier relationship with others. And you're really being asked to, I want to say, stand firm in these boundaries and, have patience with yourself throughout this process, because the older the habit, the more difficult it's going to be to change, right? Now, moving on to January. We have the comet and the tiger. Now, there will be a lightening of the energies in the month of January, okay? There's going to be much laughter shared and good times had. It's going to be a time of healing after a time of darkness and confusion. There's going to be highlights around sensuality, receptivity, and devotion during this time. You'll be enjoying time with people, and it will be healing, but it will also, be healing to spend time in solitude as your inner power awakens and your passion grows. Now, in general here, just from the pattern that I've seen in the cards that came out in this particular reading, like this is gonna ring particularly true for creative individuals. And that could be, you could create anything. There's no focus on any particular thing being created. It's just there's a lot about, I want to say, the self, a focus on spirituality, which is a part of, this creative success that I see coming within this year. A lot of healing, because creation is very healing. Any form of art is, in my personal opinion, just very healing for the self and for others. That's kind of like a way that you can share healing with the world, especially with social media and all that jazz. But yeah, you may find yourself feeling the urge to take a chance or make a sudden change in the month of January with all of this light, positive, even maybe at some points a bit intense energy. Now next, for February, we have the Siren and the Crocodile. Now, you may find yourself lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust, as a sort of culmination of the energies of the month previous. Now, whether what's calling to you is good or bad is irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. The work of the Siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent to a place where lessons are learned so that we can live more fully on the surface. This process will, of course, require us to go within, creating a time of non-action, intentionally withdrawing, gathering awareness and building energy so that your next move comes from a place of wisdom and personal power. Now, to me, the Crocodile is very much so similar to the Hermit in the Tarot. With the intentional withdrawal, it speaks to really observing and taking the time to learn about something. And that could literally be anything. But with the Siren, right, I feel like there could really be like not a focus on romantic relationships, but I feel like you may be running into somebody, maybe finding somebody that you will be building a romantic relationship with during the month of February. Alright, so for March, we have the Kiss and Owl. Now, in March, the air will be thick with intense energies, an electric feeling of sorts, that of the hair standing up on one's arm as you feel an awakening of the heart, the anticipation of something that you've long been waiting for to arrive becoming more intense as time passes. Whether it's a person of romantic interest, an offer in the realm of business or career, even your higher self, there will be a merging with another, letting in what was moments ago separate. Alchemy in its truest form. True intimacy is around the corner, which requires bravery and surrender. Once it arrives, you know exactly what to do with it. Now, with the Kiss, right, you would assume that to be something that is romantic in a sense, but it doesn't have to be. Now, I feel like this could ring true more so for, like, in a spiritual sense, it's like a merging of who you were and your higher self, right? Because in February, right? I get that there with the crocodile, that's like speaking to the Hermit card. That really speaks to a more spiritual, like a seeking of spiritual information, going within to seek further knowledge. So in March, okay, I get that this will be more so a merging of the two versions of yourself, right? Taking what you learned in the past and integrating that with what you are now or currently learning when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your path. And so when it speaks to like true intimacy being around the corner, that could even speak to like finding a new passion, learning more about oneself. Because this is going to be a year of a lot of change. And with that, it's like personal change. Now for April, we have the Creator and Snake. Whoops. Okay, so in April, you will have integrated with your higher self and have a deeper understanding of the universe and how it works, how to properly utilize alchemy and transmute energy. You understand that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. You can make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. You can generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away, annihilating the preconceived notion of what's possible. You're completely present, accepting things as they are, instead of wishing that they were different. As you're starting to realize your potential and how to harness it, the universe is urging you to move forward. It's now time for action as you tap into your unawakened magics. Yeah, you see, here with the snake, I really get, kind of like an Ouroboros vibe. This really speaks to me of like, kind of like being similar to the World card. Okay. You really, it's an ending creating a new beginning, and that new beginning is going to be something that's very prosperous, something that is really, it's something you could put out into the world. It's something that can reach, like the world. It's something that can really grow, in my opinion. And the Creator, I mean, that to me speaks of like an alchemist. And alchemy can literally be anything. There is no one area that one is stuck to when it comes to alchemizing, because energy is in everything. Like baking is alchemy, right? The process of any sort of art is alchemy. Cooking, right? There's just so many different ways that you could alchemize energy, and that within itself is very healing. All right, now for May, we have the Medallion and Eagle. Now, there's a focus on clearing your space, taking stock of the things that have personal meaning and the kind of energy that they contain. It's likely that you're holding on to things that no longer have a purpose in your life, and the energy that they hold have been creating blocks in your energy, preventing you from moving forward. This release of stagnant energy will assist you in fully stepping into your power and overcoming these remaining challenges before you step into the next phase of your journey and truly shine. Now, I definitely get, when it speaks to taking stocks of the things that have personal meaning. That could be anything. That could be like family heirlooms. That can be things that you might still have from like past relationships, people you've been with, whether it's romantic or friendships. And it really speaks to how those things have an energy of their own. It's about how like material things hold on to energy. So when somebody gives you something, that item has their energy in it, and that creates like a way to keep their energy around you. So if you have something from somebody that you no longer speak to, you still have their energy around you because you still have that thing. And now if it's something that you don't want to get rid of, and the item is of particular use to you in any way, you can cleanse it, right? You can cleanse the energy, and it will no longer be attached to said individual. And that could be a way of like clearing your space. Like you may, once you go through these items, right, it would be wise to then cleanse your space, whether you use sage, Palo Santo, any kind of incense like dragon's blood. Like, I feel like there's multiple meanings to clearing your space here. And along with that, right, you definitely, I feel like you've definitely been feeling stagnant, or you've encountered stagnance in certain areas of your life with certain things that you've been trying to do, things that you've been working on. And I feel like, not only will clearing your space make you feel lighter, that will also, clearing out your space is like clearing out your mind. It'll make it easier to think and focus and get things done. So that will overall, like even for your health, be beneficial. And with the eagle, right, the eagle speaks to, like in the depiction on the card, the eagle is basically picking up the sun. Like that is joy, prosperity, like pure happiness, right? To me, that is symbolic of, the energy that you will be in once you get rid of these things, once you cleanse your space and everything like that. Now for June, we have the Stone and Cobra. Now to me, the stone represents the soul, and its ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single soul may see thousands of generations come and go, therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. It is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. Now you're being asked to ground yourself in order to make it through whatever it is that you're currently going through. In this stillness, you will connect with your inner teacher of sorts. Like that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Now, to me, right, this card, the stone, it in the book it speaks of like actual physical stones, but the way that it's described to me, it spoke of the human soul. Okay. And the kind of information that it holds, how it speaks to like it containing an ancient and eternal presence, because the soul is energy. So when the body, the vessel, is no longer with us, the soul is still out there, right? And it just finds another body to inhabit and continues the journey, continues learning, continues karma, and all of that. Now, talking about, grounding yourself in order to make it through what you're currently going through, I feel like nature, right? I feel like nature will be very beneficial for you in so many different ways. And honestly, for most situations, like it's best when it comes to grounding to do such in nature. And I feel like that's also, nature is the perfect place for stillness. Like, go to like a body of water, right? Try to find, like, if you're in a place with like a wooded area that has like a waterfall or somewhere with like running water, like that is a wonderful place to just ground yourself, to sit in stillness, to connect with yourself, to connect with everything around you. Now for July, we have the Destroyer and Hummingbird. Very interesting combination. Alright, now July is going to be a month of necessary endings, whether in work, relationships, home, or any other form of security. Any area of your life where there's been stagnancy will be shaken up to create growth, since there's no movement and comfort. It will likely provoke anxiety and feelings of negativity at first, but this experience will create a certain enthusiasm as you are put in a position where you must use your creativity, reawakening a love of learning that brings you to further explore your spirituality. This will be a very fulfilling phase of your journey as you learn how to utilize all of the tools at your disposal. Yeah, you see, the Destroyer. It is very much so like the Tower card, right? Where it just shakes shit up. And it's not just for the sake of like causing chaos. There's a purpose. As I said before, this year, like there's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of forward movement, a lot of shedding of old skin and things of that nature. And that will really only happen if, progress really comes from uncomfortability, from, in a sense, being forced to move, right? In a sense, being, like, I don't like using the word forced, but, putting you in a situation where you need to change, to put you in a situation where you're so uncomfortable that, you have no other choice but to change and to move in a different direction. And that movement is going to move you out of comfort, right? That's going to take you away from being somewhere that, has become routine, that has become, as I said, stagnant. And there's no growth, there's no forward movement. You're just the same shit every day. And the whole point of this journey, right, is to keep growing, to learn. So, what comes with moving out of comfort are uncomfortable feelings like anxiety and negativity, right? You're gonna be going through a lot of this in your mind because you're not really going to be given much of a choice. And at that, right, what comes with such a situation is, going back to the feeling of that comfortable place, right? You're gonna be wondering why this is happening, why did that crumble, why did this happen this way, why did this happen that way. And that's what's really gonna bring up these negative feelings, and that's what you need to move past in order to start growing, right? You need to just accept the situation for what it is and keep going. because at the end of the day, it's happening for you, it's not happening to you, right? This is for your benefit. And I feel like a lot of this, right, is really to lead you further and further down your spiritual path. And at the same time, I want to say that it's really also, as you're moving further down your spiritual path, you're being shown how capable you are. You're being shown, you can really do anything. Like, you have what you need to move forward. Now for August, we have Anima Mundi and Zebra. So in August, there's going to be an initiation on a soul level where you will awaken the unique light within and witness how it contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra, and your destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. There's a chance that you could be traveling soon, so pack your bags and your curiosity for all things. So here, as I was speaking before about your spiritual path, right? Moving out of that comfortable space is going to move you towards, like, I want to say maybe like an awakening of sorts, which is what I would believe this soul level initiation will be. And it really, as I was also saying before, right, you're going to be realizing what you're actually capable of and what you can do with the tools that you have, with everything around you. And that's really going to give you a better sense of your role here, okay? You're going to realize the effect that you have on those around you, and, how necessary you are on this journey, right? How necessary you are on this planet. We all play a part. Now, speaking to, your destiny being altered, I feel like, that's kind of like a new passion lit up inside you, right? Because once you start doing something that's new, that's unfamiliar, right? Learning, that can very easily become a new passion. So I don't know about you, but I have a new hobby every couple of weeks because I love learning. I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm always reading articles online, and they lead me down many rabbit holes. Many. But they lead to new experiences. They lead to new knowledge. They lead to trying new things and figuring out what is for me. What am I truly interested in? What lights that fire within me? And, with there possibly being travel, I feel like with that, there's going to be a lot of new experiences, which are going to be very necessary for your growth. Excuse me. All right, now for September, we have the Shaman and Shark. Now, the Shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. Its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self, the other, and the culture. Lastly, the Shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges every day in the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be diligent in studying their darkness. This is a reminder that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. Now, as I was just talking about, the love of learning and, I feel like you've been doing a lot of learning about healing, and that's through experience, right? Well, okay, that's mostly through experience, but there are also, things that you've probably looked up in the process. If you have a therapist, that's somebody that could also teach you, show you different ways of healing, coping, and, I feel like you yourself could have like a platform where you speak on such things and you share things with the world. And that doesn't even mean that, you have to be a content creator or a therapist. Like that could be something as simple as having an Instagram and posting, what you've been going through and how you've been going through it, how you've been moving through it and dealing with things. And that can, inspire people to move in different ways and to cope in different ways than they have been. And that's something that can easily travel, right? Because when you say things online, that's there forever, and things have a habit of spreading very quickly. So, I get that, you in general can also be a healer. Like whether it's consciously or subconsciously, purposeful or not, I feel like that's a part of your path. That's something you could be doing unknowingly. So that's something that you could possibly be learning about yourself within September. And when it speaks to, the shaman being a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, and then where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be diligent in studying their darkness. To me, this speaks of really being connected with your shadow and really doing the work, right? To recognize your shadow and to integrate that, right? To really work through it and share that with others. It's like when one person heals, right? That really creates sort of like a chain reaction of healing, because then that person puts their thoughts out there, their views out there, other people see it, and it reaches who it's supposed to reach, in my personal opinion. That's the great thing about the internet, to me. Now, for October, we have the prayer and Beaver. Now, gratitude is a strong theme this month, whether you express such in way of prayer, surrender, or service. You're seeking guidance on your journey. It could have something to do with the home or some other form of stability, such as finances and career. You're ready to put in the long-term work, as it will benefit you and those around you, like your family. Now, prayer doesn't exactly have to be like the traditional form of prayer. You know what I mean? This can be like how it says how you express gratitude, right? That could be in any way. That could be through surrender. That could be through like service slash acts of service. But regardless, I feel like you're really gonna be working on your money, working on ways to make money. You could maybe possibly be wanting to start a business. You could be, in those beginning stages where you're planning how to do such a thing. And that's a decent length process. And that's going to require, having gratitude, because it's not going to be easy. But you understand that it's going to require, long-term hard work, and that it's going to benefit you. And in the sense that it'll benefit you, it'll benefit your family and those around you. And that's something that, is very valuable to you. Right now, for November, we have the womb and golden egg. Very much so. Creation energy. I don't know why it seems like the video has zoomed in. This is so weird. Whatever. Freaking phone. Alright, so November is going to be a time of self-love, acceptance, healing, and growth. You're being asked to keep things simple, to return to the self, to receive, accept love from the mother within. This month will be filled with nourishment, warmth, and love. You're going to be becoming intimate with your very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within, know that you are well on the way. Now, the womb here, I want to say it's almost literal. Like, obviously you can't go back to the womb, but you can create surroundings to be that of, to mimic being in the womb, right? It's a place of warmth, love, if you think about it, like growth, possibly even healing. But, it's, when you were in the womb, things were simple, right? You really didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was grow. Be still. And while you were in the womb, you received a lot of nourishment. And, going back to such a state of being is how, you become intimate with your very essence, right? And comfortable with vulnerability, because to be in such a state, you have to be in a place of stillness, of withdrawal, and you're going to be in a place of comfort. So, you're really gonna be feeling, I want to say, that gratitude. Words. You're really gonna be feeling that gratitude, right? For your experience, for where you are now, and possibly for where you could even see this going, right? And with the golden egg, right, that right there really speaks of opportunity, right? There, interestingly enough, the egg is in a nest, which is very similar to the womb, which even, let's see, there is what looks like a golden orb in the middle of this triangle there, right? And then to have the golden egg in a nest like that. You know, you can honestly be, this could have something to do with a nest egg, or it could have to do with, creating your own nest, right? Of building your surroundings, building your kind of, I don't know if the word sanctuary would be appropriate, but I feel like, you're going to be building a place for yourself. This could be as simple as, decorating a bedroom, right? Creating that space that you can go into, that you can be vulnerable, you can let your guards down, and you can just be, right? Now for December, we have the animal and elephant. Now, in December, you'll be reawakening your relationship to nature in the most broad or embodied sense. In ways of, like, for example, drinking from waterfalls, howling at the moon, opening your eyes underwater, or eating berries from the vine. The animal longs for breath, food, procreation, and physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight on our skin. The life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, and the social constructs. And remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. If you're feeling stuck, rest assured that the path will soon be cleared. If you aren't experiencing any obstacles, the elephant will create some in order to steer you in the right direction. Regardless, the path forward will be illuminated with the light of self-knowledge. Now, this takes me back to when we were talking about grounding, going out in nature, and, possibly even finding a waterfall or a moving body of water. In a sense, this is like, again, going back to basics, right? The basic things that people require, breath, food, physicality, the need for movement, procreation. Like, it's really the most simple things that one could require that really, in today's day and age, are taken for granted, even, deemed inappropriate. And, how it speaks to, like, if you're feeling stuck, to rest assured, because a path will soon be cleared. But then, it speaks to, if you aren't experiencing any obstacles, something will be created in order to steer you in the right direction. Either way, the path forward will be illuminated with the light of self-knowledge. That was, like, pretty much using everything that you will have gone through in the previous months throughout the year, right? To really make your way forward. You're going to make it to a point where, you're going to be comfortable in this space, to where you're going to be confident within yourself to find it within yourself to move forward, to just roll with the punches, roll with the changes, right? And just to keep going. Because here, there's a lot of focus on the self, but also, certain parts speaking to the importance of, learning about the self in order to teach the other, and with that, the collective community, the collective culture, right? There's going to be a lot of changes, not all pleasant, not all asked for, but required in order to become this version of yourself. And I feel like, a lot of this is going to be brought to you through creativity, through situations where you're going to be required, to use that which you've learned thus far to move forward. Even though you'll be in a situation that you may have never been in before, you're still going to have the information that you need on how to move forward within you. You just need to, take that time to look within yourself for it instead of looking for it externally in like other people, right? This is already encoded within you. You just need to really, maybe go out into nature and ground yourself, and that will make it easier to connect with yourself and then find these answers, find this way forward. But I feel like, by year's end, you're going to really trust yourself. You're going to really appreciate everything that you've been through that's gotten you to this point. And you're going to really be connected with whatever it is, whoever it is you believe in. This is going to strengthen your faith in self and everything else. All right, if you made it this far, thank you very much for staying and all the way to the end, because I know I haven't done a video this long in a very long time. I've generally been sticking to TikTok, so my videos haven't really gone over 10 minutes, and this one is verging on 47. So yeah, please, leave a little something in the comments. Let me know if you'd like more long form content. This is new. I've never done this kind of reading before, but I saw it on Instagram, done by the creator who made these decks, because they're both by Kim Krans, if you don't already know. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle. And this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes, I want to say. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it in whichever way you provide it. And I'll see you again soon. Do be gentle with yourselves. Bye-bye now.